Hey, it's James from Active. We get a lot of reviews and videos online about our product. I think a lot of you guys get a lot of information about our product and decide whether to buy, whether to trust us, or try to identify issues. And so it's a really valuable source of information and feedback for our entire community. What I wanted to do today was watch a couple of the videos and share some of my thoughts from my perspective. Some of these viewers have different experiences with the product under different conditions, which are all valid. And I just wanted to make sure we had a chance to give our point of view on some of the comments posted to these videos. So the first video we're going to start with is from Andy's Autoare and what he has to say about his 2.0.
What's up, guys? So yes, like the title says, I am throwing away my Active 2.0 pressure washer. So there's the old one. The reason behind that is because they actually sent me a brand new one. That one just got to a point where it was just sitting there running. It would not shut off anymore.
So what he's talking about is something experienced by a few people, and they're talking either about a product that doesn't shut off or cycles on and off. I think we tried to solve the problem where we can, and rest assured in any case, the 2.0 and 2.3 are covered by residential warranties for 2 years and 1 year for commercial, and in the case of the 2.3, and we'll always try to do our best to replace and fix any defective components or the complete unit as necessary. We have an upcoming parts store that'll allow users to buy certain components that'll extend the lives of their pressure washers, which I think is a great thing, both for the users and the environment and the product itself. This kind of running and even when you release the trigger, the unit continues to run. Typically, again, we recommend the users check accessory compatibility.
Got a hold of their warranty system because I only had it for like 6 months. Went through a little bit of a troubleshooting process with me. It did not work, did not fix it. So here we are. They did no questions asked pretty much. I sent them, a screenshot of my purchase and everything through Amazon. A couple of days later, I ended up with the brand new one. So great customer service through these guys. I'm very impressed with that. So I do recommend this pressure washer. It's a great little machine.
All right, well, it seems like we resolved the issue, so here's a second video from a user called Driveway Detailing. And he said he had a 2.0 that he had to replace after about 10 months of use. He decided to do a guide on what he thought was wrong with the product and concluded that the problem happened because he thought it was a non-steel braided hose. He then did a follow-up video about how he's working to make his 2.0 last longer, and we're gonna check out some of his recommendations after we watch a bit of the video.
So the first things I did have nothing to do with functionality. It has everything to do with ease of use. So I tried to do everything I could to replace all of my fittings with stainless steel. So I have stainless steel here. I still need to order a new stainless steel fitting here, but as soon as I do, I'm going to replace this with stainless steel. The brass is faded. The water has left like a coating that sometimes when I'm plugging in my pressure washer, because this is the pressure washer connect, the pressure washer hose is a little bit difficult to take out. So it's another reason why you want to switch everything to stainless steel.
Okay, so part of this gentleman's first recommendations is to swap out all the fittings to stainless steel. And I think typically that's a pretty good idea as long as you're not modifying any of the core inlet or outlet parts of the pressure washer. So these are, call it your fittings, your quick connect fittings that go into the hose and go onto the your garden hose or your water inlet. And stainless steel is a great suggestion because of its anti-corrosive properties. It's not going to have as much buildup or corrosion over time as some of those brass fittings. This is a good suggestion if you wanted to do it.
The next quality of life thing is going to be the types of nozzles that you use. The nozzles that come with the Active is going to be just fine. They're 3.75, I think is what the manual says. So you don't want to go any smaller than that. But when I bought my original one on Obsessed Garage, it suggested to go with the 5.0 nozzles, which I went with to make sure that I didn't blow a fuse or didn't break a circuit. If you go smaller than 3.75, it could affect your engine, or your motor on the pressure washer. You want to make sure that you're going with at least a 3.75 or above.
So he's making a great suggestion here about what orifice size you can and cannot use. Now, we recognize that all over the internet, people are testing these 2.0s with different orifice sizes, 3.7, 3.5, even smaller. We don't suggest doing that because the unit was designed and optimized for the nozzles that you get with the product. And what they're going to do is they're going to protect the motor, and they're also going to protect your household circuit. So we know the majority of homes, vast majority of homes, operate off of a 15 amp circuit. Some of them can't get to 15 amps because they're older homes. So we know that you will start to blow fuses if you use, if you kind of add a smaller orifice and drive more pressure around the unit. You might get a condition where you spike the amperage over 15 amps. That's going to make two things happen. Number one is you might blow a fuse or circuit at your house, which is not good. The second thing is the micro switch that kind of manages some of the performance of the unit is also very sensitive to overdraw and kind of current draw and so forth. And so constantly overloading the circuit is going to damage the life of the pressure washer, and that is beyond its intention and beyond its rated capacity. If you want to see our nozzle size recommendations for the 2.0 and the 2.3, see below, and we'll include a chart for all the recommended nozzle sizes to keep your machine running for as long as possible. So let's see his third recommendation, which is kind of around the use of foam cannons.
Place the orifice in my pressure washer. So when I had my old pressure washer, in order to get the best quality foam, I switched out the orifice, which goes inside this tip here. So you take this tip off. In my old pressure washer, I replaced it with a 1.1 millimeter orifice so that I can get the thickest foam possible. With the active, you don't want to do that. I have a 1.5. It's not going to short the motor and break and blow a fuse on you. So you definitely want to replace the orifice on your pressure washer. I like 1.5. And you've seen in my other videos that the foam, you still get thick foam, so it doesn't decrease any of the performance.
This is a great illustration of a well-informed user. So I think what people need to understand is these are kind of closed systems, and orifice sizes at any point in the system changes the performance of the whole system by a bunch. He's right. With his old pressure washer, he went to a very small orifice size to drive maximum foam performance. The 2.0 is a different unit altogether, and so when he used his old orifice with the 2.0, he probably wasn't getting great results because the 2.0 was never designed to work with that orifice size. So that's kind of the positive and negative to all these people out there kind of playing around and experimenting with orifice sizes to get maximum performance, is that one does not necessarily equal optimal performance for another unit. Overall, I wanted to thank Driveway Detailer. I mean, he's obviously very diligent, and I want to thank him for putting out such great information online. He's obviously taken a lot of care to understand what's going to make his 2.0 last the longest, and we appreciate the video. Last, we have a video from Pan the Organizer. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with him. He's one of the largest detailing YouTubers out there, and so we're happy and honored to have him reviewing our 2.3 recently. He also, interestingly enough, went through some of the comments that some other popular YouTubers out there have had in regards to the 2.3. So I am Josh V, Cars with Kiev, and of course our friends at Obsessed Garage. And so I wanted to address some of the comments that he's making, as well as his comments on some of their comments as well.
And I call that the best bang for buck, under $500 in the pressure washer world. A lot of my fellow colleagues agreed, including Cars with Kiev and also I'm Josh V. Those are two channels that really do deep dives into pressure washing. That was a $350 US unit, right? The Active 2.0, so fantastic numbers, 2 gallons per minute, or right around that point, 1.9, 2.0 in the real world. But the issue with that one was a lot of people noticed it was surging when they were using aftermarket hoses. So Active responded to that, and they mentioned if you're using things like Flexzilla or Uberflex hoses, those are not steel braided, so they're not steel reinforced, and that jacket can expand and contract when you're using the pressure washer. So those rubber hoses are not ideal and can cause surges. Now, the same thing with this one. But this time around, what they did is at least they provided a braided, steel braided hose that is actually very high quality with it. So it is a very, very long hose. It's 40 feet steel braided rubber hose.
First of all, thanks for his kind words on the 2.0. He does hit the nail on the head. Some of the non-steel braided hoses were increasing and flexing and causing these surging issues because of the way the back pressure was impacting the micro switch. And that really led to some of these issues. We have continued to look for ways and solutions so that any of our products can be used with any hose, and we continue to work on that solution. But as Pan points out, for the 2.3, we also did a lot of work on getting a better, more flexible, a higher quality steel braided hose that would hopefully eliminate the need to buy another hose. And so we hope that that's the path in the future that'll help minimize this issue for most of you.
This here, the upgrade that they made, this is a 5-piston pump and induction motor, so much higher quality components on this one for sure. It has a brass end plate. That's my only worry, by the way, is the size of this. If we have a look on screen, you would notice that this is actually a small brass head. If we compare that to the Krenzla 1322 TS, so its competitor, you're gonna see that it's much more heavy duty on the Krenzla, and also the AR Blue, same thing here applies. You're gonna see the brass head is much, much bigger.
He mentions the concerns around the size of the brass head relative to the AR and the Krenzla, and how this might cause some overheating concerns when used in kind of higher capacity applications. I'm happy to report that, with 6 months in the field, we've not had any reports of overheating, and we've not had any conditions. And during our own internal long-term testing, when we do durability testing and we do kind of long life testing, we never had any concerns around overheating or that being a failure point. Pan has a lot of great information here as it relates not only to how the unit performs, but also how you should use it with the different types of hoses and accessories. And I think the information is super valuable for people out there in terms of deciding whether the 2.3 is right for you. As he rightly points out in the video as well, I think if you're looking for the top performing unit under 15 amps, for most of you that have household circuits, this is really the best option and only option you have to hit these kind of numbers out there. And I think he does a great job of explaining the pros and cons of it, and what else is out there relative to, call it, competitors in the market, and who this might be great for. So as always, we appreciate these great reviews and all the information they get out there to the customer to help them decide. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video and found it interesting. I hope it's answered some questions for you or cleared up any confusion you may have had with the product. So if you like what you saw, please share the video, like, subscribe, comment, and give us your feedback. And as always, thanks for watching and appreciate your support.